Konnichiwa, gamers, it is I, Juice Man 3941. Pull up a seat to the gaming roundtable. That's right, this is episode 4 of season 2, and today I'm bringing you gameplay footage of Mafia 3. That's right, Mafia 3, the sequel to Mafia 2, and of course, where it started in the original Xbox and PS2 with Mafia. I want to tell you this much because this game was on sale, and I was able to get it for a very, very good price at GameStop. Traded in some more 360 stuff, and I was able to get Mafia 3. Instead of being a $60 game, I got it used for the whopping price of right around $25, so that's pretty good. Here's the thing about Mafia 3. I mean, like the original, like Mafia 2, it's just got this amazing story and amazing, just this great facial animation, great voice acting. I mean, it's just such an amazing thing. And I don't want to put any spoilers out here, but there's a particular part in the game that I just got through, and it actually really just pissed me off. Not from a standpoint that the game is bad or anything. It's just I was so enamored with the characters, and you just be like, I can't believe they just did that. You know, it was almost a Walking Dead, Game of Thrones like moment. You know, it was like, what? You know, and so it just was amazing. And again, like Mafia 2, which is one of my favorite games on the Xbox 360. I have been through the game 3 times. It's just the story that really you have fun with. And this takes place right after the Vietnam War. And it's just this really cool narrative that happens at the beginning of the game. Like when you're playing the game, it actually shows characters from like years later, and it's like they're telling Lincoln Clay's story, but from it, like if someone was interviewing him. It's like a documentary. It's very, very cool. Another thing that was interesting at the very beginning of the game was there was a disclaimer saying that during this time, with race relations and things like that during this time period, that you would, this could be offensive to some people, some of the things that are said and done in the game, but they don't believe in that, but they had to make it authentic to the time period, and I'm glad that they had the balls and the guts to do that. The game world takes place in New Orleans. It's got a fairly big map, too. This is the map, as you can see here. Very large in sections. Here you got the Bayou, you got the South Downs, River Road, Downtown, French Ward. And it's just really cool to kind of like, you can put, a thing up, and that way you can see, like, you can put waypoints, like any open world game. What's interesting, if you commit crimes and stuff, like witnesses can try to call the police and you can stop them. Of course, you can do crazy things like that, like knock somebody out, like just randomly. Which is kind of funny. I mean, I've been going around doing that. Yeah, he was going to call the police. Lincoln's just badass, and anybody he hits, they pretty much fall down. Dolph Lundgren kind of style from Rocky. It's really comical. I don't know how many times I've just walked around just doing some funny stuff like this. It's absolutely funny. Like this guy's getting pulled over. That's enemy turf apparently. So, and again, you're basically trying to take over all of New Orleans and mob style, and it's just really a really cool game. So this guy's knife in the neck. Took you out. Well, you ain't gonna do nothing. Knock you out. You can move bodies this time around. I really like that aspect. Boot to the face. I'll knock you down too. Well, you ain't gonna do nothing. They also have the same amount of interesting collectibles from cars and the Playboy magazines. This time you actually have a lot more that's going on. And hello, I want to say shout out to Miss Pamela. How are you doing today? See, that's what America's about, my friends. It's about tuning in and watching the gaming roundtable. But anyway, Mafia 3 is just such amazingly realized New Orleans. It's the shanty town. It's just really cool the way that it really feels like the time period. The environmental effects, by the way, I mean, especially through headphones, you hear the trees, the whistles. Sometimes at night you'll hear some distant dog barking in the distance. It's just very realistic. And I've played a lot of open world games, and it seems like almost every game is open world nowadays. But it's just a very, like Mafia 2, very realized. One of the nice surprises, and this is going to be a little spoiler, is that Vito Scarletti, who you played in the second game, makes an appearance fairly early on in this one, so it does tie in that. Lincoln Black here. I'm just kind of running around. I do have a home base. There's a lot of different stores, and again, like most open world, there's stores to shop at. You can rob places, GTA style. Right now, I just kind of put a waypoint for the French Quarter. I thought, let's go over there and check that out. It's just kind of fun. What are you doing? Oh no, that's terrible. Punching somebody's lights out. But oh well. That's my buddy's place up there. He's helping me. He's a former CIA ops type of guy. I kind of would be better if I have a car. I guess I'll steal this one. Might as well. It's always good. Now this witness is calling the police, but I can't have him call the police. No, you don't. No, you don't. Oh, facing the... Oh, dumbass. Anyway... And that's the fun. I mean, the game is so much fun. I'm actually really enjoying it. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't say that it's as good as GTA 5, even though I really love me some GTA 5. But I do like the more realized. I don't know. I've always liked the Mafia series. They've always had a knack for putting together an amazing open world. That's time period piece with the cars and the look and the feel. Even the music on the radio is to the time period. I've got 3 different channels. They play songs that I'm familiar with. I actually heard One Is the Loneliest Number and a few other things from Rolling Stones to and it's nice to hear that time period music being played. You do have some camera options here from the hood view to the standard view. I usually put it about the second view is pretty much good there. You can hit the button and look behind you. And again, it's just such a very realized game. When you're in the bayou, in particular at night in the swamps, the lighting is just great. It's foggy. It rains. There's just a lot of things you can do in the game, and I'm enjoying it. From getting outfits and purchasing different things. It's just really a fun game to play. Excuse me, and take a little shortcut there. You really shouldn't run over people. I have hit a couple of people by accident, and I'm just showing you a little bit of the gameplay. You saw me run up to a guy and box him and knife the shit out of him because he's in enemy territory. And eventually, I've read that you can take over areas and you have to assign lieutenants and you make money. So it is much more. I think much more realized than even the second one. Even though as much as I thought the second one was amazing, this also has a lot of those moments. Right now, it takes a little bit to get to the point where you get your base and you do this. It took me about probably 2 hours of going through the story and doing stuff. Of course, the police are in here. You got to watch doing things. Now, this is a French Quarter. I mean, look at this. This is great. I'll go slow. I mean, look, it is totally realized. I mean, it looks like what you would expect, exactly. There was this one level I was doing, it was Mardi Gras, and this place was packed with people. It was really something to see with the parade, and I was able to walk through it, and it was cool. But I love the look, that look of New Orleans. It's just great, They did this great job. Let's see here. Here's a bar I can go to. This is the Dames Rogues. It's girls, girls, girls. Oh, it's a girl bar. Okay, It's kind of like one of those places. This girl's kind of just dancing. It's kind of like a little shanty bar. Girl dancing around. Va-va-voom. It's not real busy because, of course, it's during the day. Here's this guy. He's serving stuff. And I don't know. I know in the first game you could, buy drinks and do stuff. And I haven't come across that just yet. And so I just haven't yet. And it'd be nice if I guess at some point, and like Mafia, and just like Mafia 2, you probably have to go through a few more story missions before you get more options. It wouldn't surprise me if that's what that is. I just love the look of the French Quarter. I mean, it's totally captured. I mean, it looks, and I think that's beautiful. I think this is the first game I've seen where it's New Orleans in an open world setting, because we're oftentimes, like in Grand Theft Auto, we're given Los Santos. And Los Angeles is kind of a replication of L.A. In Mafia 2, you're in Empire City, and which was a representation of New York in the 30s. And a lot of open world games, take in like Watch Dogs. Always liked Watch Dogs for the simple fact it was in Chicago. The new one's in San Francisco, cities that you normally see, and this one's in New Orleans, which I think is awesome. Like I love the aspect of that. And you see that cop was kind of like, hey, wait a minute, like because you look like, like I said, you've done stuff. Now here's some enemies in here for some reason. I don't know why this. I guess this is enemy turf. I'm gonna beat him up. Oh, boots to the face. Headbutt in the face. I better draw my weapon here. So here's a little bit of the gunplay. Traditional third-person mechanics. What I really like is the animation. Like when people like go down, you can shoot them in the leg. They'll hold their leg, and even when they're almost dead, they'll sit there and twitch, and which is actually pretty impressive to see. It's also and it's violent and it's bloody, for sure. And like I said, I think it's got good cover mechanics. You can blind fire. I just blew him. And he is done. Sorry about your damn luck. And so I got some ammo there. Yeah, and again, this one you can actually take the bodies. You couldn't do this in the second game. So like because you do have some, there is stealth in the game where you can get low, and you can hide bodies and dash them and hide, and when you're in stealth mode, it's kind of nice because you can just take out things silently. You don't have to go guns blazing if you don't want to. I think that's really cool. Here's some money here that was laying around. We'll take that. Thank you very much. And you find notes, too. This is kind of neat. It says, that fucking Jim McCormick's been digging around again. You dipshits keep telling me he's on the take, but every goddamn time I turn around, he's up my ass. I want that cocksucker dealt with it. You hear me? And these notes kind of lead into some side stuff, which I really like. And it's just random things that you find. And I think it's really, really, it's just really fun. And the combat, like I always thought the second game had a really cool, combat. And because it was kind of boxing and you had to weave and dodge. This one is a little bit more brutal, more about it's just fun to and I'm sorry, that never gets old. Like just running up to people and being like, yeah, you're done, and it's so funny that you can do that. And in the second game you really couldn't do that. You could just box them. This one gives you a little bit more interaction. And one of the things about open world games that I always measure it by is the interaction with the people in the game world environment. Yeah, whatever. Like this person's gonna call the police, and no, you're not. I'm gonna just throw her down too while I'm at it. Anyway, so and Mafia 3 does have just a really cool environment, and I really like the game. What I've played so far, I think it's great. You can select your, I can activate it. Now I'm going back to. I had to meet the Haitians. Here, I'm gonna take his car. It's cool because you have to physically get in the car, and here we go, and put it on the channel. Always listen to this channel. There's cops and stuff. You gotta ride. The vehicles also have two kinds of control. It's a normal control and then a simulation. When you put it on simulation, it feels very realistic, like the cars, the way they handle. So you basically what you're getting is an arcade mode, a style of playing, and you're getting a more simulation arcade kind of feel. There's electronics and auto. There's some places. I don't believe I can go in those areas, but a lot of stores I have found you can go into. What's really unusual though for this game, and I don't know if it's just because it's still early in the game, but when you go to your map, you don't really have a legend. You don't see. You got a couple spots open, and that's it. You don't really see. That. You know what I mean? It's really crazy. Oh, and also this is your kill list. Like you have to go through the family, which reminds me a lot of Godfather 2, because you had a similar thing. You do have your assets, which are these are people that can eventually work for you. You do have your journal, and it tells you like what's going on, and you can also view everything that's happened like previously. You do have your collection. You got a collection of albums, which you can collect album covers. There's repent stuff. There's propaganda. Hot Rod. Hot Rod collection is if you collect different. It's a Hot Rod magazine, which is pretty cool. Like I said, you have your album covers, which I haven't found any yet. Again, I think I'm pretty early on. I cannot show you that because if I do, there will be nudity because it is Playboy, and I'll probably get flagged on YouTube. I mean, on there's nudity. These are the Vargas painting collection. It's a lot of nudes, and then of course the Playboy magazines from the period. I can't show you that, so don't want to get flagged by YouTube per se. But this has been a really, really fun. What I've played so far, the story's got me intrigued. I love the setting. The music is perfect. The gunplay is great. I'm having a good time. I know later on I'll be able to like interrogate like people for information and have the option to kill or non-lethal them if I wish to. It's going to open up more, I guess, as I play through the game and it progresses. And so I really like that. Oh, and as always, this is the moment where I say beer in the throat. That's some good stuff right there. Anyway, I'm just showing you a little bit of this footage. If you're just tuning in, this is episode 4, season 2 of the Gaming Roundtable. Driving around here with my character in Mafia 3, Mr. Clay, as he is known. And it's just a really, really cool, like I said, it's a really, really cool game with lots of different collectibles, different things you can do. The world is very big. It's vast. It's period piece, New Orleans, and I'm digging it. But I've always loved the Mafia series. A lot of people didn't really like the first game, and I actually ended up long years later getting it for like almost nothing, for like $4 or $5. I think even less than that. Oh, I hit that car right in front of the cops. Right in front of where they're hanging out. Oh, that's not good. I got to run from the cops. They did change the way the cops work in this. It's kind of like GTA. You got to get out of the circle of their view. So you can like escape them like most. And again, you're going to have that in most open world games. And, you know, it's just there's not a whole lot you can do about that. That's just the way it is. And so I'm just running around here with my character. This is kind of neat. Here's a gas station you can go to, and he's just walking in the back. I'm gonna knock him down. Take this. I'm gonna take whatever this is. So you can actually like pick locks. There's actually a mini game for doors and like things that are like jammed. Here, I'm gonna go in here. Take this guy's cash. I know it's terrible. Like I'm robbing the place blind, but you know, it's just kind of a neat thing. And another reason you want to go into places like this and search around is because you will find a lot of your collectibles. And that's one of the things I loved about Mafia 2 was I would go in almost every building and about anywhere just to try to find, you know, where collectibles are at, because they can be hidden anywhere. And all over the place. So it's kind of cool that the game has as much as it does, collectible wise. So it's kind of nice. And here's the mini game I was talking about. You gotta like find where it's at, hit the square, and try to get it as close in the center as can. See, now I just busted in here, and now I can go in here and see what we got going on. And it's just neat because you never know what you might find, and again, collecting collectibles is a big part of this game, and I'm glad that they put the album covers and Hot Rod magazines and all that stuff, and that's what I'm essentially looking for now, is that there's anything in here that I can you know, take. And so far, and again, sometimes you don't, and sometimes this game I've noticed you'll go in a building and you can bust open it and you think there might be something in here, and there's nothing. It's just happened to be a locked building. It's just a random thing that, you know, that they did, and I find that, and I'm okay with that because that shows that they were trying to just, you know, do different things. Here's another lock. Looks like there might be some health in here. I'm gonna do the mini game again. And here we go, and boom. Open. Got the old crowbar out, the old key to the city. And and again, it's just such a fun game to play. You never know what you're going to find. I'm just kind of walking around. They're probably thinking, who's this guy? Why is he in here? There's like this electronic part, which says I'll be using later, but I don't know for what. I don't know if it would be for bombs or other things. It's kind of hard to say. I think I might be able to. Yeah, I can't go in there. That door is not a openable door. I'm just kind of in here dealing with these guys. And again, it's just kind of neat that they have these a lot of buildings like this you can go in. It's really fun. I'm on this objective where I gotta wait for the Haitians. I gotta go tail them or do something. In typical open world fashion, you're gonna do, see, and that's cool. This is a place I can customize my vehicles, and that's something new, and I think that's great. Apparently that's locked, but I can't do anything with that just yet. So that might be, again, like Mafia 2, they slowly introduce you to all the different things you can do in the game over a period of 4 or 5 story missions. It's probably the exact same thing they're doing here. I've got to go through some story stuff and to get more of the world and more activities and things to do. And I picked this up about 10:30 today. So I haven't had it very long. So I'm not. I don't want to say I'm far into the game, but I'm past a certain point. And see, these cops though, they're still kind of alerted to my presence. So it's always you always got to be careful. You never know. Like in this building here, I might be able to go into. Buildings with the little marker icons is how you know you can go into them, obviously. And so it's always good to try to find a way in, and sometimes it's hostile territory because the main villain in the game, Sal Marcano, he's the Italian mob guy. He's basically taken over all of New Orleans, and you're just kind of dealing with that. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I just wanted to show you some Mafia 3 gameplay. I definitely recommend it because if you like open world games with that's got visceral combat and really nice melee finisher takedowns that are violent and visceral. And as the game opens up, I'll probably bring you some more gameplay just to show you what's going on. Anyway, please hit the like button. Tell your friends about me. Subscribe. I'm the Juice Man 3941. And as always, gamers, good gaming.